welcome to another chaotic video because I don't know what's gonna happen in this video. Hello everyone, my name is Mark and welcome back to my channel. Or welcome, actually. I feel like I should say welcome because in my last video that I posted, I actually gained a lot of views, which was not expecting, my itty bitty video, and I have a lot of new subscribers. So hello to whoever is there. I don't know who, I think YouTube, I don't know actually how it works. I don't know how this thing works, but you can have the option to like not show who you are. So I don't know who you are, but hello. Thanks for watching these goofy videos, these chaotic videos, and welcome to another. I feel like that's how I should start this. Welcome to another goofy video. No, welcome to another chaotic video because I don't know what's gonna happen in this video. Thank you for watching and I cannot wait to get into this video. Basically, I will be sharing all of my favorite Christmas books that I've read in the past years. But before I get into that, I have my Christmas mug. Can you see the llama? Yeah. So she has presents on her back, and then it says, "Follow." I think it's the same thing as my sweater that I wore last video. I don't know. But this is my candy cane tea. Candy cane, what is it? Something candy cane tea. And I put oat milk in it. And honestly, it's interesting because I feel like oat milk doesn't work with everything. But this is not bad. Like I can taste the tea. And then I have my sugared snickerdoodle candle. And you still can't smell that, but it smells really good. Anyways, let's get into it. So a lot of these are romance because I love romance. And Christmas romance just is the best. So I'm going to start with, I don't know. I have a list here, but I don't really know which one to start with. Maybe I'll do it by authors because a lot of these, no, actually, okay. We'll start with this one. This one is called One Day in December, and it is by Josie Silver. And it's like a holiday book. I don't know if Christmas is a big theme in it, but I would say it's like more holiday kind of Christmas themed. And it's basically about these two friends who've been friends for a really long time. And then this one girl meets this guy on the bus and like she just automatically knows that he's the one. So this one day, okay, you know what? It probably is Christmas themed because it's December, but pretty much it like takes place throughout like years and like she's trying to find this one guy, but then he turns out to be like in her life throughout the years later and you just have to figure it out. But it was so good. Like it deals with friendship. It deals with like second chance kind of like first love. I will say there is like a weird, I don't know if I'd call it a trope, sort of, that I didn't really like, but honestly, aside from that, this book was like amazing. It was just, I would say it's more of like a friendship story than romance. Like it definitely has that romance subplot that you want in a Christmas romance, but this friendship, like these two women, just have been through it all. And like, it's so great watching it develop as you read the book and like throughout the years. So highly recommend. Her recent books have not been that good. I only read one of her recent releases, but it was not that fun for me. But this one is like a must read in like the holiday cozy season. So yeah, definitely check that one out. The next one is called The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. And this is a duo. I forgot who they are. You can look it up. But pretty much it's about these two twin sisters. One of them I think is like a baker and the other is something else. But essentially do this switcheroo where they swap. Or does someone like fall down or something? It's like The Parent Trap, but like meets Christmas. One is a chef and one is like a baker, like living in her hometown, but pretty much they switch. And then something happens. Oh, so one of them loses her ability to like taste or smell. So she can't judge this baking show. And then this cooking show. You know what? It doesn't really matter. Pretty much they do switcheroo and then they romance. And they find love. I thought it was great. This is like probably one of my favorite ones because it's so cute. It's clean, first of all. And then you have the Hallmark like theme, Hallmark town and everything. Why am I shaking my head? Why am I? And then you just have like really sweet romances and it's just great. So definitely check that one out. They did come out with another one last year and I was not a fan. But this one I love and I recommend to people. I will say it is cheesy. So if you don't like cheesy, don't read it because then you're gonna complain. So disclaimer, it's cheesy. It's like basically a Hallmark movie in a book. So if you don't like that, then don't read this one. And it's just really fun, and it has like really good recipes, and it's adorable. Okay, next. I'll say this one because I'm reading this author's 2 new releases these past few months because it's in my TBR video. But this was her first book, and it was called Always in December, and I mentioned it in my last video. But this book is about this woman named Josie whose parents have died, and every year she sends them a letter that like literally goes nowhere. So you already know it's sad. But then this year she runs into this guy and they have this really fun day, but then she like never hears from him again. And then you follow her life throughout the years and decades, maybe not decades, maybe years, and how they keep meeting. And this book broke me. Like I kept seeing the reviews of how like, oh, it's the saddest book you'll ever read, like keep your tissue box ready. And I was like, okay, so like reading it, like this is pretty sad. Her parents died, she's dealing with her grief. But then something happens like near the end of this book. And I had to put that book down and bawl my eyes out because are you kidding me? If I think about it, I will cry. But anyways, that is my warning. Take that as you will. It is very sad. It is sort of heavy. It's definitely not a Christmas rom-com. If you're expecting that going in, don't, because that's not what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a really good contemporary romance. You're gonna get a woman dealing with grief. You're gonna just get a really sad book. And you're gonna love it if you love sad books. If you don't love sad books, please don't read this. But maybe you're a robot and you think you have no emotion. Do with that what you will, you know, read it if you want. But I highly recommend it. I think about this book like so often. Like I read it like last year, but I think about it so often. Like that's how much it affected me, and it's great. But yeah, that is a definite like, yes, you must read. Okay, next, what do we have here? We have, oh, another sad one, 25 Days Till Christmas. So my friend recommended this one to me. She didn't read it, but she told me to buy it because she saw that it was clean. And I was like, oh, like if you look at this cover, it looks so adorable. Like it's a cute Christmas romance. And that's what I thought I was reading. Like I read the synopsis and I was like, okay, this seems like pretty like good. And I was like, well, I'm gonna read it. Tell me why it was also really sad. Like it's basically about this single mom who was like struggling to get a job, and she has this son, she's trying to like take care of him. And they do this like Christmas thing, like every day it's like a new gift or something. What's it called? Advent calendar kind of thing. And then there's the other guy who's dealing with his grief. I think he works at a suicide hotline or something, so he helps people like overcome that. And it is just so sad. Like this book was really heavy, so trigger warning galore. Even last one's a little heavy. But this one is just like, why was I crying so hard? But I will say it's very hopeful at the end. So maybe that's a spoiler, but like we hope it ends well. And it's just like you're really seeing this woman and this other guy like struggle with their lives and like deal with it, especially around like Christmas where it's supposed to be like a happy time. And like this woman is going through it. Like honestly, I've never read a book where a character has like, it's just horrible. But I love this book. It was great. Like I did not expect it to be what it was, but then I loved it. So it was a good thing. But definitely check that one out. If you want another sad romance, if you love to cry, I mean, these are great books. More books to cry. So these two are by the same author, Leah Lewis, and she's one of my favorite contemporary romance authors. That was scary. I thought someone was at my window. But she's one of my favorite contemporary romance authors. And these two books aren't really like Christmas themed, maybe holiday themed. I don't even know, like they take place around like the holiday, but I feel like they give like the Christmas vibes you want, like the holiday, cozy, wintry Christmas vibes. So the first one is called 8 Days. No, it's not called 8 Days. It's called 8 Perfect Hours. And it is about this, okay, actually give me a sec because I don't really remember what it's about. Okay, yes. So it's about this woman. Apparently her name is Noelle. So it's about this woman named Noelle. And then she gets into this like car crash where she's like stranded in the middle of nowhere. And then this handsome stranger like saves her kind of. And then they part and they think they'll never meet again. But then throughout these years they meet. I think it's very similar to like all these other books I'm talking about. But it basically has like the theme of fate in it and how their lives continue to cross in like very different ways. But also like how it like is really impactful. It's just good. It's just good romance. It's just really good contemporary romance. She writes really good side characters too, so I always love her like best friend character people. Writing is like butter. It just flows off these pages and it's so good. I feel like she's one of those authors that like is not hyped enough. Like Leah Lewis, you need to get on that New York Times bestsellers list because why are you not? I feel like people need to hype her up. If you get anyone in this video, You should hype up Leah Lewis. You should just go read all her books. But that's her first book, I think she wrote. So this one is called The Key to My Heart. And it's about this woman named Natalie whose husband died. And then 2 years later, she's still struggling with her grief and how to deal with it. And then what she does is she plays at this train station in London. She plays piano there. And then she suddenly one day gets this like music sheet from a song that her husband knew. And then she plays it, and then she keeps playing it. But then the next day, she gets another sheet of music. So it's like this mystery. We're trying to figure out who it is and what's happening. But there's also this romance, right? There's a romance in there, obviously. And like, it's really unexpected because you think it's obviously the guy, but it's not. I mean, spoiler alert, it's not him. But just the way she writes stories, it is so just beautiful. And I think it's based off of like an actual piano in London, somewhere in the station in London. Like that's what she bases her stories off. Like they're kind of factual. At least this one is. But yeah, this one was great. Both of her books are very sad. They're not like crying. So actually they are crying sad because I cried while reading both. But again, these are more contemporary romances. So if you're into that genre of Christmas romance, then I would highly recommend all these books that I've just recommended. So this last one that I'm going to recommend is called Dying for Christmas. And this is a Christmas thriller. So it's very different from any of these other books that I recommended, obviously because it's not a romance. But it's about this woman being held captive by this man. And then there's like 12 days to Christmas. And every day he gives her like a gift or something. But then there's like, it's so weird because things are going on. Like, I don't remember. Like I read this, when did I read this? I don't even remember. I read this a very long time ago. 2017 is when I read this book. And I gave it 5 stars, but I feel like if I read it now, it would probably be a 4 or 4.5. It's so twisty and like, you don't know what's going on because she's captive and like, I don't think we know why. And we read it and we're trying to figure out what's going on. Like, who is this man? Who is she? But then she also has a secret. And I'm trying to remember the plot twist, but it really got me. Like, I was just like, what? I think it was on the last page or something, but it's definitely one that like keeps you reading because you're trying to figure out what's going on in the story. And I don't think it's like one you can just put down. Like it's probably like a 1-2 sitting kind of book. It's just so intense and it's so suspenseful. And honestly, I don't think I've seen a lot of buzz about it. There's only like 3,000 reviews on Goodreads, which is shocking because I really enjoyed it. Or at least I remember really enjoying it. I feel like if I read it now, it definitely won't be a 5-star because my scale has changed a lot since 2017. Like what, that's 5 years. But I still think it's a great thriller to read around Christmas time. It was very just fun and like insane. Like it was wild from what I remember. But yeah, these are all the Christmas books that I recommend. And I hope you find one that you like. I hope that maybe if you have any that you think I should read that I haven't planned to read in the other video, please let me know. I'm always looking for books to read. If it's a Christmas thriller, if it's a Christmas romance, if it's a Christmas historical fiction, I don't know. Let me know because I'd love a good Christmas book. So yeah, that is it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the new people who are here. I love you all. I don't know who you are again, but you are loved. And I cannot wait to keep filming these videos. I also wore my Christmas sweater. No, I also wore my red sweater for this video because I only have one Christmas sweater and I wore it in the last video. I feel like I could have worn it again. It doesn't really matter. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for new videos. Bye.